factors converged to create the current downturn. Declining interest rates reduced income from floating rate loan portfolios. More concerning, a series of high profile credit problems emerged across multiple funds. KKR's BDC reported significant losses from loans, including a 350 million position in janitorial services company that represented more than 2% of the fund's assets. The fund's non-performing loan ratio climbed from 3.5% in January to around 5% by September. Adding to these concerns, roughly 14% of the fund's income now comes from loan-paying interest in kind, meaning borrowers are deferring cash payments, often a signal of financial strain. BlackRock's BDC, with approximately 1.8 billion in investments, reported 7% of the loans as non-performing in September. The fund took additional losses last month on a home repair company that went into liquidation, a position that had been marked at full value just a few weeks earlier. Add to this the fraud scandal at the automotive supplier First Brands, which rippled through the industry, catching multiple BDCs with exposure. One small fund, that is the Great Elm Capital, held direct exposure exceeding 6% of its portfolio and recorded substantial unrealized losses. And this brings us to the liquidity question. Perhaps the most instructive episode came from Blue Owl, a firm that has positioned itself as a leader in the private credit lending. The company attempted to merge a private BDC, one that has seen mounting redemption requests, with its publicly traded counterpart. The deal collapsed within 2 weeks of announcement. As public BDC shares traded at widening discounts to the net asset value, the math became increasingly unfavorable for the shareholders in the private vehicle. After significant pushback, Blue Owl abandoned the merger entirely. The episode highlighted a structural challenge. BDCs hold illiquid loans with no organized secondary market. When sentiment turns negative, there is no easy exit.